We couldn't agree on dinner, so we compromised on something that nobody's excited.
There we go. I guess we're live. I even shaved for you guys. You see? You like that? Let's see what you guys were saying in the chat. Anything good? Anything interesting? Let's see. How do you like your tea? I don't drink tea. Let's see. Let's get comfortable here. Somebody asked me something. Somebody asked me a question. I know you guys have hella questions, so just ask me. Repeal the 19th Amendment. Women should not have phones. I wrote some notes here in case you guys are fucking retarded and you can't ask me anything. Then I can just talk about shit. Anybody have a good question? Favorite band? That's a tough one. I don't know if I have a favorite band, to be honest. I mean, it's kind of just whoever I'm listening to at the moment. Lately, as you know, I've really been into Tool. Also, Caligula's Horse. What, a favorite? I'm not sure I have a favorite. Sing us some Meshuggah. Yo, stop quoting my fucking my fucking videos. Are you Jewish? No, I'm not Jewish. I mean, I might be. Honestly, I don't even know what I am. I've never really looked at my ancestry. So I could be a mutt, you know, I could be anything, but I like to think I am the purest of the pure white. I'm fucking blow, son. I'm as white as it gets, baby. There ain't no Native American in me. There's no black in me. Except for down there. Yeah, I'm probably just German and I don't know what else. Nordic. All those Nordic countries, you know. I probably have some Viking in me. I mean, I have some dark features, so. Apparently my last name is Welsh, of Welsh origin. So I hail from Wales. Marshall, are you from New York? No, I'm not from New York. I'm not from anywhere. I grew up in a military family, so we moved around a ton. The volume is always low, dude. Raise your volume. I don't know what you're talking about, bruh. Nobody else is complaining about it. People are watching on like flip phones or something. That's the only explanation. Damn, there's hella. You guys fucking blew my shit up. Yo, when I said ask questions. Alright. What is your most biggest mistake you've learned from life? Bruh, I have no fucking clue. I'd have to think on that one. What's your favorite military MRE? I can't remember. We when I went into the Navy, it was right when COVID was like really ramping up crazy big, and we had to quarantine. So we quarantined in Fort McCoy, Wisconsin, for 2 weeks, and it was cold as hell. It was February, so it was like -30 every single day. It was cold as hell, bro. And we all had to wear masks, of course. You had to wear a mask all the time. And then after that, after we did that 2-week quarantine, we went to Great Lakes and we actually started real boot camp. But 4 days in to what are known as P days, which is your preliminary days where you get all your shots and your vaccinations, and they basically make you a retard. They basically take your dignity completely away from you. You go through a lot of embarrassing things, and you get like shots in your ass and shit. It's crazy, but anyway, went through P days, and then the dude that was not my rack mate, he might have been my rack mate, but the rack next to me. So you get bunk beds. There's a huge, in the Navy, I'm sure it's probably similar in other branches, but if you have a division, right? You're part of a division, which is basically like 50 to 80 dudes. And you're in this huge room. It's just, it has a huge bathroom in it, and then it's just a bunch of racks, right? And there's no windows. They don't let you see outside. All the windows are like paned over where it's like cloudy. So it's like it's like you wish you could look out. You can kind of see what the weather's like, or that it's day or night. That's all they want you to know, whether it's day or night, but like you can't actually see outside. They don't want you getting any ideas. And but there's this huge just racks, right? It's just a huge circle of racks, rectangle of racks. And I think it was my bunkmate. Now that I think about it, he was a nuke, right? So he was in the nuke program, complete dork. And this division was a 800 division, because I was going out for rescue swimmer. That was my contract. And there was a ton of like SWIC, EOD, diver, SEAL, and then rescue swimmer. Those were like the 5. They call them like special programs or whatever, right? So this 800 division are specifically tailored to those types of guys, because let's be honest, the rest of the Navy, they're kind of whack. They're just all straight retards, bro. And you actually come to understand this as you go through, that if a dude's going out for like a special program or something, he's just on a different level. Like they're just different people entirely than the rest of the Navy. But this guy, this nuke, he thought he got COVID. He thought he got, he had a little sickness, a little cough. And the way that they would do it is, if you did get COVID while you were in boot camp, then your bunkmate, because it's bunks, right? So they're all bunk beds, right? So you have a bunkmate, one on top, one on bottom. Your bunkmate, and then the 2 bunks next to you, so 4 other dudes, along with your bunkmate, you guys all get what's called Ring of Fire. And so all of you have to go to what was a huge gymnasium, way bigger than an average gymnasium. It's like massive. It's like a warehouse. And there's cubicles for as far as the eye can see. As far as the eye can see, it's the most dystopian shit you've ever seen in your life. Half of it is women, half of it is men. and all that divides it is just like a like one of those when you're at the movie theater. It's one of those, you know, the is it stanchion or little thing where you draw the rope through, and tons of dudes like slipped under that, just like slid under that in the middle of the night, just were just fucking bitches. People were fucking like rabbits in there. That's some wild shit, nasty shit going on. But yeah, so we got Ring of Fire, and we had to go. It was called Midway, this place, and yeah, it was fucking terrible. Oh, what was the original question? Oh, that's where we had MREs for the first time. What's your favorite MRE? So MREs were like huge there, and there was actually a huge economy that arose, like a nascent living economy completely isolated to Midway, where all these cubicles were. Certain, you know, we had no money, right? So, but we would trade. You know, trade existed. Trade arose amongst us, and certain items in an MRE would trade for higher value than others. And certain MREs were worthless; they were garbage. Certain MREs were the cream of the crop. And so, one of my boys that I actually got Ring of Fired with, and I did quarantine with him in Fort McCoy. So we're actually quarantining twice now because you have to go to Midway for 2 weeks as well. So it's just this quarantine on quarantines. And he actually was a very, what do you call it? I don't know. You know, people that like to get. He's very Italian. You know, he likes to make deals and cut deals and get ahead, and he's just all about that. Very industrious, I guess. Is that the word? He ended up being like the kingpin of Midway for our 2 weeks there. You know, 4 days in, we, you know, he basically had all the nicest items in his drawer of all MREs, and he would trade them for certain items that he needed at a certain time, or he'd trade them for like coffee or whatever he needed, right? Whatever he needed most, he would trade. So it was like a barter system. And he ended up just racking up like more and more shit, where it was just a thing where like if you needed something, like whatever you need, you go to homie. You go to homie. And it was wild. That wasn't the wildest part, though. That wasn't the wildest part. The wildest part, you guys are gonna fucking trip. I mean, I can say this now because I'm out of the Navy, but it was kind of wild at the time. So, you know, you're in there, and it's very, it's dystopian as fuck, dude. Like, you're not supposed, the human mind is not supposed to go through that stuff. It's completely different. Your phone, obviously you don't have your phone. You know, you're with people you don't even know. You're far away from home. You know, you're constantly scared of acting out of line, any little thing that you do. But actually, Midway was the most lax that the whole experience was. And the whole experience was about 3 months long. And it was the most lax because basically you just sat all day in your cubicle and, you know, you just read books, or we made up like a chess set with just like paper. You made like little pieces of paper, and you just wrote Q for queen and K for king and P for pawn, and we were just playing chess with little pieces of paper that we just folded on this paper chess board that we wrote. And of course I was wrecking everybody, but in chess. But you know, it gets to a point where, yeah, like I said before, 800 division guys are different than the rest of the Navy guys. Like, they're all fucking They're all gremlins, dude. They're all just goblins. We literally like turn up our fucking noses at them like you're nothing. Like you dying to I should dine to talk to you. You know what I mean? Like get the fuck out of here. It was basically just high school all over again. But we were all, when we got all Ring of Fire, me and the other four guys, we were all together, and we were all there was three SEALs. They were going out for SEAL, and then there was one other rescue swimmer with me, and we had this idea. There were these flags, right? There's flags in the military, and flags are there's a it's kind of like hieroglyphics, but there's like an image for a letter. So instead of there being a letter, there's an image. I guess they used to use it way back in the day. So you knew, if you're out at sea and you're in wartime or something, you knew, a ship could alert you by putting up certain flags, then they would tell you something, and, enemy, navies and militaries wouldn't know what these flags mean. So it's kind of a code way. And so there were these flags. And so, we're looking at our book. We all had a book, a handbook for boot camp, where you basically just go through the entire handbook, all of boot camp, and you just go through the classes. You go through your general orders, and you go through, the ranks of enlisted and officers, and you need to know all this trivia and all this bullshit. So you could look at the flags. One of these things was you could look at all these flags, and you could memorize what each flag, what letter was. What a flag's letter was. And so there were these flags that rose up all around Midway, and they said, U.S. Department of the Navy or some bullshit, right? It just said some gay shit. And so we got this idea that we would switch the flags to say something different. And we were only working with a certain amount of letters, right? Just a certain amount of letters. And so in Midway overnight, there's always you stand watch. What's called watch, and you do that on the ship too when you actually get into the fleet. You do it in boot camp. We had to do it in Fort McCoy and quarantine. Basically, everybody's you go to sleep, right? And everybody stands watch for like 2 hours. And so, your watch might be 2 a.m. to 4 a.m., but you go to bed at 11 p.m., and then you have to wake up at 5 a.m. So you get no sleep. If you're thinking about joining the military, just know the main thing about going through boot camp is you will be the most sleep deprived you will ever be in your life. That is the one thing about boot camp that is true for everyone, is you get so fucking sleep deprived. It is nuts. Like, that is the least sleep you will ever get. It takes years off your life. You get no sleep. Which makes everything else just that much harder. Remembering things, getting screamed in your face for not doing certain things, whatever. But, what was I saying? So, yeah, we had this idea that we're gonna switch the flags. And, watch. There are people that stand watch in Midway, too. And they're us, right? They're not petty officers. They're not chiefs, right? They're us. So so what we did was, we knew that we couldn't do this if there were fucking goons, just everyday clowns, the peasants, the NPCs, standing watch. They're gonna look up and see us changing the flags, and they're gonna be like, sound the alarm. Petty officer, chief, oh no. So what we had to do is we had to get the boys on watch in a certain time window where we could do this. And there was also petty officers and chiefs that would do rounds. They would patrol. So that was also a factor. We had to make sure that there was no patrol that could catch us. And normally patrol was either late at night or early in the morning. So they'd come in at like 4 in the morning or something like that. That was like the first patrol. So we had a window here of like, there was like 1 to like 3 in the morning, and we still had to get some sleep, right? We couldn't, so there was like 1 to 3 in the morning where we got the boys on watch for every single watch. And I think there was like 5 or, there was like, of watches that could actually see the upper banners. Like it was like there's an upper level in the gymnasium, right? Where there were like bleachers and shit. And then on this railing, that's where the flags were hung. So everybody would look up and they'd see these banners up there. So we had to get up there and then switch them around, but there were only certain watches that could see. The other watches couldn't see this. So they didn't have line of sight. And you couldn't leave your station. Like you couldn't leave your watch. You had to stand there. And so we knew that we didn't have to fill all 8 watches or whatever there were. We just had to fill the ones that had line of sight. So we filled, 2 or 3 watches. And then there were like 3 of us, or like 2. It was like, we had 4 plus 2, 6. Yeah. So there was like 3 dudes on watch, or like 2 dudes on watch, and then 4 upstairs. And 1 had to guard the stairs to make sure nobody came up. And then 1 had to guard, had to be like lookout or something up top. And then 2 of us or 3 of us were actually changing the flags. I was the one who was changing the flags, and then my other buddy, who I still keep in contact with, I talk with him every other month or so. We were the main guys like actually changing the flags, and then everybody else was kind of helping out. So it was like a team effort, right? But the letters were limited, so we only had certain letters to work with here. It's like a Scrabble type thing where you can't say whatever you want because you only have certain letters. You only have an S, or you only have an A, or you only have 2 T's or whatever. And so we changed the flags to. It sounds retarded, but we changed the flags to do the fuck. Okay, do the fuck. That's the best we could come up with. Now, we were, of course, there were some close calls. Can't remember exactly, but we got away with it. The boys did well on watch. We all did our jobs. We changed the flags. Nobody saw. There was actually a petty officer, first class, that came in at 4 a.m. and he almost saw us, but we like dipped down at the very last moment because we had signals. The guy that was down below, closest, keeping an eye on the floor, he would like whistle or something, or there'd be like a snap or like a certain call, and then we would immediately drop to the floor. And there was a couple times where like that actually saved us, because if they had saw us, we're donezo. And so we achieved it, we accomplished it, and of course, we all went to bed. We were like, yeah, let's go. All gave fist bumps, everything. We go to bed, wondering what's gonna happen the next morning. So we wake up in the morning and we're wondering if anybody is even gonna notice. Is anybody even gonna notice? Because everybody's a fucking zombie. They're all fucking stupid. Nobody's really observant. But I guess when you don't have your phone, you have nothing else to do. The mind just wanders and you just start looking at shit. And when you don't have the internet, when you don't have anything to read, you just start talking to people, and you just, you go back to the olden days where you have to actually interact with people and look around you. What's interesting around me? And so it wasn't long, dude. It actually wasn't long. We were wondering if anybody was even going to notice. It wasn't long. And we were actually noticing, like, we were looking down the line, because we were looking down the line of cubicles, and there's multiple rows, right? So we can't see everybody, but we can see just our line. And there's these you know, there's these idiots that are just sitting there like looking at a book, and you know, they kind of look up at the flag and kind of talking and blah 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 and blah 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 blah. I kind of look in and and we start to see this and we're like, oh shit. Oh shit. This is like 11 in the morning or like noon or something. Like, it did not take long. We're like, oh shit, here we go. So, you know, they start piecing to these idiots. They start, you know, he got fucking glasses on. He looked like he was Indian or some shit. Dude comes from like fucking Sri Lanka or some shit. And then there's like a crippled dude who's on like a crutch, a redhead, freckled dude, and they're looking up at this shit. They're figuring out the secrets of the universe. And they're like, oh shit. And they start laughing, right? They start laughing because they understand what it says. They're like, it's dude, the fuck. Instead of like U.S. Department of the Navy or some shit. And of course, they're, you know, you can't just see that and like laugh, can you? You can't just see that and be like, oh, that's fucking sick. They have to, you know, they have to tell people. And of course, one of them's going to be an absolute square, a rat, and go tell, you know, the chief or the senior chief or first, you know, petty officer first class or whoever was in the, you know, the office or overseeing all of us. And so they got word of it. And, you know, we see eventually, sure enough, you know, a few chiefs, petty officers, they come and they start looking up at the flags. And they just, you know, they just look up and they're just like, oh my God. And so we, you know, maybe an hour goes by, you know, they go away. Maybe an hour goes by. I think they had somebody go up and like, they're changing the flags now. They're changing it back. But after this point, you know, half of everybody had been told about these flags. So like half of all the boys here, I think it was probably, there must have been 100 dudes, you know, or 150 dudes, a lot of us. Everybody, you know, sees these flags and, you know, they're all just like, who changed the flags? Who changed the flags? Everybody suspected that it was the 800 guys. You know, it was the 800, you know, it's the, you know, because we just don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And they know that we just cause problems. And that we think that we're the shit. And we can get away with shit. And we think it's funny. So they go away for an hour or two, and then we're like, is anything going to happen? How can they catch us? Nobody saw us. You know, how are they going to know it was us? And basically, they got everybody. So what happens is, chief or senior chief or whoever, he got on the megaphone. He brought the megaphone out. He gets up on the bleachers, and he starts, you know, screaming at everybody, you know, get on the tow line or whatever, stand at attention, you know, and then he's like, we're gonna have to, I think it was like we had to chant, you know, our general orders all in unison or some shit, and then he had to go down the line and ask us questions and all this stuff. We were standing at attention for like 3 or 4 hours. It was miserable. Everybody was like miserable. It was just standing, you know, like rigid. It's not like you can't just stand like lax. Like you have to stand like this. And you know, he's like, somebody switch these flags. Somebody thought it was funny. You need to come and you know, turn yourself in. If you have any honor or integrity about, you know, this, you know, being in the Navy, you need to turn yourself in. You need to turn yourself in. All this stuff. We were like, no, that's a fucking trap, bro. Like, no way we're turning ourselves in. And they were like, if you don't turn yourselves in, we're gonna start taking guys in one by one and asking them questions. Who knows what? It's like an investigation, bro. Like a whole investigation started in Midway, in this dystopian gymnasium that has all these cubicles for as far as the eye can see. we're going to start taking people in, asking them questions. And they did that because nobody owned up to it. We're not going to say anything. And everybody suspected it was us, but that's all they had. They didn't have any proof. They just suspected it was us. And so eventually, word got around. Most guys were apparently they were saying we think it was the 800 guys. So they call us all up, all 6 of us. They call us all up, or was it 5? Might have been 5 of us, but they call us all up, and the same thing. They're like, "We'll give you this chance to. Did you guys have anything to do with this?" A lot of guys are saying that it was you guys. And do you have anything to do with this? And I think even at one point they were like, if it comes, you're gonna have to tell us that you did this or something like that. I think even one of us was like, I think I might have said something, or maybe the other dude, but he was like, if you don't have any proof, then you can't do anything to us. And there was a weird thing where it was like the dude knew it was us, but he couldn't prove it, right? So he had nothing substantial here. He just knew that like most people thought it was us, but it's baseless. But nobody actually saw anything, and he was like, he just basically let us go. I think on some level he kind of respected it. He was kind of just like, well, damn, bro, like if you guys can get away with this, like, kudos. After all that, after a whole day of just like investigating, yelling at us, torturing us, making us do all this shit, I think eventually he just got tired and he was like, I'm not, these dudes aren't gonna out themselves. So it was epic, dude. I hope it spread around the entire base, and I hope we were fucking legends, and I hope we're legends to this day. Anyway, so that's what's your favorite military MRE? I don't really have one. Do you think Trump is hilarious? I do think Trump is hilarious. I think he's just an idiot, dude. I mean, well, can you really say he's an idiot if he's done all this, if he is where he is, But I think he is hilarious. War story in 3 words. I don't know. You mean Backstreet Boys, NSYNC? What's your goal in life? Like, what do you want to achieve? What do I want to achieve? Nothing, dude. Nothing. I don't know. I just want to be, happy. I just want to be chilling. A woman would be nice. Maybe, I don't know, dude. I just want time to do some cool shit. Have good people around me, I guess. Nothing crazy. Have some money. Have some time. We all want time, really. Y'all want time. I just want time. You think you want money, but you want time. That's what you want. All metal is good metal. I'm not sure I agree with that. Have you ever astral projection? Any ghost stories? No, not astral projection, but a ghost story, sure. I don't know if this counts as a ghost story. And I do see that somebody sent me like a 10, what is that, €10 chat or something. I'll get to that, but I'm not really sure how this works. I'm supposed to address that first or whatever, but I'll get to it, bro. Preach. I don't really get this anymore. When I was younger, I really had sleep paralysis. The sleep paralysis demon, you can't move and you're like awake, but like your body shuts off, like your muscles don't work, and then there's this demon that's in the room with you, and you can see him, and he's like getting closer and whatever. I think a lot of us have had that experience. Strange. I think it's strange that a lot of us have that, but never had astral projection, never seen a ghost, never had any ghost activity, paranormal activity, nothing like that. I'm definitely open to it. I don't discount that these things are real or that people actually go through these things. But it's just never happened to me. I think there's something about, you have to be sort of connected to that realm, or that sort of, you have to sort of, the more you believe it, the more you're kind of tapped into it, the more they, the more that's a real thing for you, the more they kind of connect with you or whatever. I've never had the desire to connect with the paranormal. So I just, they don't bother me. They're just kind of like, all right, just leave that dude alone, whatever. But I will say that I used to live in LA, and we lived in the ghetto, me and a close friend of mine that I was working with, and we were working at hotels. I've lived in the ghetto for most of my life, but we can get into that. But so I was living in LA, and I would be sleeping, and there was this one time, I had a few of these instances, but there was this one time that I was really, that sticks out in my mind. I was sleeping on my side, and I wake up, and I swear, I was awake. I wasn't dreaming, like you're awake. I was awake. I might have had some sleep paralysis. I don't really feel like I could move, but there was like hot breath, like right on my ear. There was like a breath and like a growl, like right on my ear. Swear to fucking God, bro. This is the only thing that I've ever had that's like weird. It was like a breath and a growl, like a guttural, just like, ugh, And I had, like goosebumps all over my body, because I was just kind of, you're in that sort of fight or flight mode. And this thing is, there is such a grip that it has on my shoulders, right? There was such a grip that it had. Its grip was like insane. I mean, I was laying there, and it was like the grip of death. I felt like I couldn't, like there was somebody definitely behind me, like laying right behind me, spooning me, basically. Like this demon is, I'm getting spooned by a demon, basically. He wants to spoon. And he's just like clamping the fuck out of me, and he's like breathing like deep in my ear. And the thing was, I in that moment, because I think the thing is, if you fear things, the more you fear things, the worse those fears will become, right? Fear is, you feed it, right? It's what they say in Apocalypto, fear is a sickness. It really is. The worst thing you can do with fear is feed it. Continue to fear, right? Run from it. Run from whatever you're afraid of. Don't face it. Then it will just get worse, right? The fear will just get more and more debilitating. You will feel fear, like even more. And this was kind of, I'd had similar experiences like this where it was starting to get worse. And I noticed that it was starting to get worse because I was fearing that it was happening, or I wasn't willing to like accept it or just like let go. And in this moment, I remember I was just like, I don't even care. Like there's this demon behind me, has this huge grip on me. I got goosebumps all over me. I'm like terrified. And then something came over me where I was just like, fuck you. Like I don't even give a shit. Like whatever. Haven't dealt with it ever since, Haven't dealt with it ever since. Nothing. So, interesting, that the less you care, if you have fear that's going on in your mind, you're scared of whatever. You're scared of spiders, or you're scared of the dark, or you're scared of turn away from the doorways, or that was always a thing in my younger years, is I would always want to be facing doorways when I was sleeping, or I wouldn't want to turn away from doorways, and I don't have that anymore because I just don't care. The more you just turn, the more you don't want to face doorways, and you keep you keep, you don't want to turn your back to doorways and you just keep facing doorways, the worse it will be when you turn your back to a doorway or something like that, if that makes sense. Once you just start turning your back to doorways, like it, yeah, you have to deal with that fear, but the more you do it, the more you just deal with that fear. The more you just don't care about the fear, then the fear's just gone. That's kind of the way that fear works. Amazing? Amazing? I'm sure you know this. All of you know this. Why don't you move out somewhere else for a sea change? Getting stuck in a rut is a terrible feeling. I don't know. I don't really feel like I'm in a rut. Some days I feel like I'm in a rut. Some days I feel great. It's just kind of an oscillating thing. I'm the female version of you mentally. I look at human beings and I'm tired. I have human being fatigue. Congratulations. Nice to know there's a female counterpart out there. How old are you? I'm 33. Why don't we go talk to them, bro? What are you talking about? Caligula's horse. LOL, that poor horse. You ever see that movie, Caligula? I did not. Keep the mic close to you. Dude, shut up about the mic. I swear to God. March 4th, 2026, a day that will live in infamy. I appreciate it. Be nice to me, please, guys. Bro is just happy to be with us. Audio is biffed. Dude, people, you guys gotta get better phones. You want it closer? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Hopefully that's not too close. You're super white. Yes, I am super white. Whiter than Snow White. There you go. You watch UFC? I do not watch UFC. I used to watch UFC way back, a few years back, but I don't really watch it anymore. Hey, by the way, I want you guys to know, the way these live streams are going to go with me, I don't know how other niggas do these live streams, but it seems like people pull up stuff. They pull up, like, videos and articles or just content to, like, sort of watch and, like, react to. That's not going to be what I do, okay? I'm not really interested in doing any of that. I don't care. So my live streams are going to be just me talking, interacting with you guys. So if you're not interested in that, then you probably don't want to watch these live streams. But these live streams are mainly just talk with you guys, answer your guys' questions. If you guys jog my memory about anything that I want to talk about, if you guys have things you want to say, we can just kind of connect. But it's sort of that's my sort of way. That's my way. Let's see. Are you being funded by Peter Thiel? I'm not. What made you want to start making content on YouTube? The thing that made me want to start making content on YouTube was semen retention. I've been doing semen retention for a while, and I don't know, I just felt like a overflow of energy. I used to be a very low energy person, and like, bro, just the smallest minute things were so hard for me. I couldn't do any of the stuff that I'm doing now. Like, I couldn't live the life that I'm doing now. I wouldn't be able to sustain it. I was in a very high cortisol state. That high cortisol. If you know what the high cortisol state is. The thing is, you don't know that you're in a high cortisol state until you're out of it. Until it's lowering over time. Then you're like, wow, I was stressed the fuck out. Very low bandwidth. But I've been doing semen retention for a while, and I don't know, my views on semen retention have changed a bit, but I still do think it's a good thing. I'm not a militant about it like I used to be. I'm not religious cultist about it, but I do think it's good to not try to desexualize your brain, but especially in this day and age that we live in, which I'm still actively doing, but I'm not anywhere as near militant as I used to be. But anyway, I was militant for a while. I was like damn religious about it, and I had this overflow of energy, and I just started making videos because it was just something that I needed to do to like get. I feel like I had to talk. I had to talk about it because there was just such a psychological change, in my mind. My reality was completely different. The way I felt was completely different. And I thought that was pretty profound. And I attributed a lot of it to, the retention of semen. But, it's always, in hindsight, it's just, there's so many factors that factor into everything. Plus this whole quantum thing where it's like, is there cause and effect? Is the effect making the cause? Is the cause making the effect? Like, what comes first, sort of thing. I don't know if that really makes sense, but there's so many there's so many things that can happen. So many life changes that I made that could have all compounded on each other to sort of change the way that I was viewing the world, the way I was feeling. But yeah, I just had this overflow of energy. I just wanted to get the energy out, just start doing something with it. And I just started talking. I just started, just putting a camera up, just started talking about it. A lot of my older videos I actually cringe at. Like, a lot of them are just, I've changed so much over just a short period of time. It's, it's, if you want to start a YouTube channel, bro, it's literally the easiest thing in the world. It's literally the easiest thing in the world. Like, you don't have to be, there's so many barriers that we have that we put on ourselves, so many things that you worry about and think about that are barriers, that are just illusions. Like, it really don't matter. It really don't matter. Like, I'm nothing, dude. I'm literally nothing. I just sat down in a chair one day and just put up the camera and just started talking. And you just start doing that long enough until people start watching, and more people will watch. If you believe in what you're saying, don't, a lot of people start doing this and they do it from a place. You have to know your why. You have to know why you're doing something. You can't just, don't do it for the wrong reasons. There's a lot of wrong reasons that people do things. And it has to come from the right place. Has to. You can't do it for like money or fame or clout. Like, all those things I think they just tend to fuck you up, dude. Like, you'll fizzle out or something. You'll crack under that. You'll crack under that pressure. You'll crack under, and I still deal with this stuff, like, actively. Like, I try not to take this shit too seriously. I think that would be my best piece of advice, is just don't, the less seriously you can take yourself, the better. Like, trust me. The less seriously you can take yourself, the better off you'll be. And it's a constant process. It's a constant thing that I'm just trying to do, is to try to take myself less seriously, which is not always easy when, you're now a YouTuber and your subscriber count has grown, your viewer count has grown, and all this stuff is happening. A lot of people, you let that get to your head and all this shit. You think that you're fucking God or whatever, but you gotta obliterate that every single time it comes up, because I don't know, you just start putting too much pressure on yourself when really it's not that deep. So my advice, if you want to start a YouTube channel, just, it doesn't have to be perfect. A lot of people want to like make the production perfect and make they worry about what you say, and you can't have any, what I used to think is I couldn't have any momentary lapses. I had to be perfect with my words. I was a perfectionist, but perfectionists can be a paralysis of sorts, because you eventually have to do things. You just have to do it. Like, you have to accept the fact that you're not going to be that good at first. And you're probably always going to look back on what you did previously and be like, yeah, that wasn't that good. And that's basically what all of it is. And you know, yeah, I just, anyway. Where's Raymond's bald ass? I know he's watching. What state are you from? Raymond. Dude, Raymond's cool as shit. I watch a few of his videos, and you know, I think he's honest. You can't say that. You can't say that about most people, but that motherfucker is honest as fuck. That dude, he has my respect for his honesty. He has brutal honesty, bro. Like brutal. You know, and I like that. I like brutal honesty like that. I think that's what we need more of. A lot of people give him a lot of shit, but I don't know. I don't think he really deserves it. What state are you from? I'm not from any state. I've spent most of my life in California and Virginia, but I've lived in a lot of different places. I lived overseas. I lived in the United Arab Emirates in Abu Dhabi for 2 years. I lived in Italy. We were stationed on Aviano Air Force Base for 3 years. That was when I was very young. I actually grew up speaking Italian and English, and I forgot all the Italian. So, Marshall, get to 9% body fat. Slave Stacy's, you got the bones. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I was posting pics there for a while of my body, and it wasn't changing. I might, you know, it gets weird when you're posting a picture, a shirtless pic every first of the month, and like nothing changes. Like you just look the same. It's kind of weird. So like I might post one every 6 months or like every year, because like I don't know. I don't think that I'm gaining weight. I think my face. I don't know. Something's happening with like the distribution of my weight. Yeah, I mean, I won't go into too much detail, but dude, I think there was just something wrong with my physiology for like the longest time. You know, with the ED and like my dick's just not working for forever, and like, there were other things that I was not very. I had a terrible anaerobic capacity, which hurt me in rescue swimmer school, which was actually the reason that they dropped me, which is actually, I won't get into it, it'll sound like an excuse, but I never talk about that because anything that I say will sound like an excuse, but yeah, my anaerobic fitness was just garbage. I don't think my body was working that efficiently for some reason, but I think it's getting better. What's good? These people that just say, what's good? Yeah, bro, you white. Marshall DNA test results next live stream. Oh my lord. Can't properly reach. Is that same seat you sit in when you watch the hub? Yeah. Well, not here. I wouldn't do it here where I make the video. Come on. That would be disrespectful to the space. I'd be disrespectful to you guys. I can't make videos where I jerk off to Angel Youngs. Come on now. Have some class. I'm civilized. Are you from New York, bro? Race is a psyop. Dude, where do I find these super chats or whatever? Oh, they're like yellow or whatever. Dude, I'm trying to do this, but okay, here's one. What could be the solution, and what about moving to a different country, rural area there for decent family values, respect, submission, trust, loyalty? Some Southeast Asia, Islam, patriarchal. What could be the solution? I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna move to a different country. I mean, I don't know, I might. Here, El Salvador is really good. You know, now that country's on like a Bitcoin standard, crime is completely dropped. Hard money, you know, that's always attractive, and but you know, the future is so uncertain, and it's just a weird thing where, yeah, I do think the women here are basically shot. Like they're the top of the top, right? These women, it's weird because they're the most powerful, free, independent, empowered women in all of human history, right? And yet they are probably the least desired women in the world because of that. So they've ascended to the very top because they wanted to be like men, because they were conditioned their entire lives to be like men. That's how they see themselves. And what ended up happening is, you know, dudes in Rwanda would like spit at these women. You know what I mean? Like you'd be like, how does she even talk like this? How does she even, how can she even drive? You know, how can she even? Should women drive? I don't know. I mean, they probably should, but dude, they suck at driving though. We got to do something. You got to put like training wheels on their cars or something. We got to like give them handicaps or some shit. Like their car that they drive has to have a W on the top of it, where we all know it's like, okay, that's a woman driving. You know, give her space. You know, let her. I don't know. She's gonna drift. She's not gonna use her blinkers. She's gonna get super, you know, flustered and shit. I don't know. I'm being a little sexist, but some women can handle it. You know, some women can handle high stress, I guess. But that's like the exception. Dude, where are all these fucking chats, bro? Dude, I honestly like, you guys are blowing this shit up. I'm just trying to find like, if you guys send money, shouldn't I read that? Shouldn't I read that chat? Dude, somebody's absolutely just spamming the chat. Holy shit. Do you guys know how I... Why the hell is this guy saying this thing? Everyone just got home and needs to go number 2 or something. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I don't know. What do I... How do I employ a mod? Somebody tell me how I get rid of this dude. I don't know how to do it. Pineapple on pizza or no? No. No pineapple on pizza. Dude, I don't... Please get some mods. Okay, bro. I don't know what the hell are you guys even talking about. This is my first time ever doing this. Fucking relax. Give me some fucking leeway. How do I see the other fucking chats that are like money? I feel like I gotta reward them, you know? Block this spammer. It disturbs... Okay, you guys keep saying block it a mod, but like, how do you even do that? What else should we talk about? How do we even keep it together around foids, bro? I don't know. Dude. You don't keep it together. Just click and ban. Oh, okay. Just click and ban. Oh, okay. Got you. Wait. Hold up. Put user in timeout. 24 hours. Come on. Let's go, baby. Hey, let's go. Oh, this one too. Hey, let's fucking go, boys. We're up. We're up. Dude, thank you. Be gentle, guys. This is the first time, yeah. Be gentle. The judge and the executioner, the poop is leaving the butt. Pro streamer. Girls will notice the guy first, almost always. Somebody asked a fucking question, yo. I'm severely depressed. I'm glad you're happy, though, man. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm happy. You know, happiness is like temporary, bro. I'm sorry you're depressed, man. Hopefully you figure that out. Don't off yourself. Top 5 metal bands. Top 5 metal bands, huh? Woo! Well, I'd have to say Meshuggah's are kind of the pioneers, you know, of any metal that you listen to today, you know, in that chant style. Meshuggah's really like, they are the godfathers of modern metal, even though they don't really have any melodic components to them. But that sound, if you know, a lot of people, you know, they don't understand how much of modern metal is basically just Meshuggah influence. If you go back and you listen to Meshuggah, you'll recognize like this sort of chug chug chug, you know, that sort of the way they fucking strum and shit. It's in that style, but so I would say Meshuggah's up there. Vidyartha is I would say another in my top 5 because they've basically, dude, there's something different. There's something different about Vidyartha. I mean, they're when you listen to them, they're a very unique sound. You know, they're not like they're very much original, but they are Meshuggah influence as well. But they're more melodic. You know, they're more atmospheric, which is what I like. Vidyartha is just amazing. They're more easy on the ears for me. Like they sound amazing to me. Meshuggah, I have to be in the mood for it, but Meshuggah is more just like if you like those polyrhythms. If you just really want to just fucking, you know. But who else? Modern metal. Gojira, obviously. Gojira is in my top 5, 100%. Gojira is just phenomenal, dude. They're so groovy, man. They're so groovy. I've never listened to a metal band that's more groovier than Gojira. They are the grooviest fucking shit I've ever heard, and like they blend like the harshness, you know, the harsh vocals, polyrhythms, with melody, but it's not. Their melody is very subtle. Melody is very subtle, but it's like perfect for me. I mean, Gojira is like, dude, I can listen every single song of Gojira, literally every single one, bro. Every single Gojira song, I love it, love it, bro. I will listen to any you put on any Gojira song, I'll fucking love it. What else? Probably. I mean, I hear Iron Maiden's good, but I haven't really listened to a lot of Iron Maiden. Personally, I like Mastodon. I really like Mastodon as well. If you're talking about modern metal, yeah, Mastodon. I have a lot of Parkway Drive, Born of Osiris, The Burial, or from the Burial within the Burial, something like that. I can't remember their actual name, but the other there's some other metal bands that I really like, but they're kind of escaping me right now. The World Is Quiet Here. The World Is Quiet Here. Their first album, Prologue. The first 2 tracks of that album of Prologue, by The World Is Quiet Here, dude. That 12 or 13 minutes. I will die on saying that 13 minutes is the best 13 minutes of metal I think I've ever heard in my life. Like, if you could just inject that into my veins, I would fucking die, bro. Let's see. Are you an atheist? Rush. I do love Rush. I love Rush. I've actually listened to a ton of Rush recently. Rush is phenomenal. As I Lay Dying. I haven't listened to a lot of As I Lay Dying. Pantera, yeah. Pantera I hear is really groovy, although I haven't really Unfortunately, I haven't really listened to a lot of them. Led Zeppelin is amazing. Love Led Zeppelin. I just listened to all of their discography like 4 times through, and fucking, I didn't understand like how amazing Led Zeppelin is until I mean, in my time of dying, um, baby, I'm gonna leave you. Uh, what is it? Um, Obviously, Stairway to Heaven. Obviously, um, when the levee breaks, or the levee breaks, or whatever. There's so many good ones, dude. No Quarter. What is it? The song always sounds the same, or something. Um, what's my favorite one though? It was the something of Achilles. Achilles Last Stand. Oh my god, Achilles Last Stand is so good. That's probably my favorite Led Zeppelin song. I don't know Lamb of God. I don't know. Bro, you remind me of Chevy Chase. Thank you. Why be black pill if you're a Chad? Why not find a good-looking girlfriend to pipe down on a regular basis? Why not make some more cash than find a good-looking girlfriend and settle down? Why be black pill if you're a Chad? What do you? I mean, is Chad just a look? I mean, I don't really know what you guys mean by Chad. Deep Purple is the most amazing band I've ever heard. Okay, I might take a look at it. Is Undertow the best Tool album? No. I think the best Tool album is Lateralus. 100% is Lateralus. What are you, fucking nuts? Are you high? Undertow is, honestly, I've only listened to like once or twice through. I should probably listen to it more, but I think Lateralus is the best Tool album. Although every Tool album is amazing, but Lateralus is unbelievable. Like The Patient, Parable, Parabola, or whatever, Schism, The Grudge, Disposition. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. Why be black pill if you're a Chad? I mean, a lot of people think that a Chad is just like a look, right? Like you look like a Chad or something. Like Chad is a look, but I mean, I guess I don't know. I feel like a Chad is more like, there's level. Chad is a spectrum. I mean, there's not just a Chad. There's a Chad for like certain women. I'd be a Chad for a certain percentage of women, but for a certain other percentage, I don't think I would be a Chad. For me to be a Chad to them, I'd probably have to start. I'd have to have things other than my looks. I don't know. It depends on what your definition of a Chad is, because some people think that a Chad is just like a genetically superior male, something like clavicular or something. Like you look a certain way, like you're in the in the bell curve of attraction. You're somewhere you're over the halfway mark is what I guess a Chad would be. But I don't know, dude. Like I've had, whenever I get in with women, I can tell you all the run-ins I've had with women in my lifetime, and I just I guess I'm a Chad, but I've dated women that are actually lower on the genetic pool than me, and they ended up breaking my heart. Like they ended up just like destroying me. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was a completely different person back then, but I don't know, dude. I think there was just any woman that I get with, a lot of these women that I got with, I would just get so attached to them. I just want, and I was very sexual. I just wanted like sex all the time, and I don't know. I was probably dehumanizing them in a way. But I was just, I don't know. It's tough, man. Like with women, I talk about it a lot. There's real advantages to looking at porn over just having real women, because real women, they're here, right? They're here. They have wants and needs, and you have to worry. They're a person, dude. Like, they're a person. And I guess I struggle with that. you know, dude, I genuinely think that if you only want sex, then you really shouldn't be in a relationship. And I feel like I really only just want sex. And so I'm not really a good relationship type person, because everything that I would do in a relationship to make it feel as if I care about you is really just so I can get sex from you. It's not a genuine care. Now, the women that I do end up genuinely enjoying, like just enjoying how spending time with them. And that used to be, again, that was in the past when I was a different person. I feel like nowadays women just get on my nerves. Like, I don't know if I could really. I used to be able to sit down and have long conversations with women and really enjoy talking to women. Now it's almost like the way that their minds work almost just aggravates me. I almost have no patience for it. So it would take a woman who's just quite unique, quite different, for me to actually enjoy spending time with her. And usually when I enjoy spending time with a woman and I really like her, for a person, I don't know, sometimes a part of me doesn't want to make it sexual, because, when you make things sexual, it's like it's a little bit, I don't know, things just get hairy, things get sticky, you start dehumanizing them in a way. And, yeah, I don't know. Plus, dude, I'm super, I like to live my life the way it is. I don't want to change it. I don't want to, I just, there's so many things when you're in relationships where it's very difficult. I'm almost autistic in this way, where I like things simple. I like my peace. I like things to be the way that I want it to be. And, it's like I would just, I don't know, I'd have to change. Although, I might be changing. Not to say that I won't change as a person, like these proclivities or these things that I want won't change in the future, but they might. But currently, it's just not. There's so many factors, though. It's not just that. It's the. I'm a 33-year-old man. I live in a basement, and I think most women who would see this YouTube channel would they'd probably think I'm crazy. They'd think I'm crazy, or I'm a Nazi, or I'm a racist, or I'm a sexist, or all the above. They think I'm like nuts. And, because they're crazy liberal. Like, they're extreme liberal. So I would have to, hide this from them, or if I showed it to them, what then? I'm super insecure about this basement. I feel like I should have a little bit nicer of a place, even though it's good enough for me. Like, I'm happy. I would be happy with this, but I don't think that other women are happy with this. That's the thing. I'm happy with it. I like this. This is fine for me. I can do this all day, right? But when I bring a woman in here, it's just like I would just be like, yeah, I know she's gonna fucking look at this and be like, But honestly, I should have some more confidence in myself. This is a process. This is an ongoing process, right? Like, me talking about all these things that I talk about on the channel, it's like a continuous process of I'm trying to figure out sort of my blockages, sort of what's wrong with me. That way I can actually just sort of push through and punch through and get through these things. But it's not so simple, man. It's not so simple. Like, you think just because somebody's fairly attractive, or you're not a genetically inferior male or something, you can suddenly just everything's easy for you. It's not so simple as that. Because it's not just about sex for me. I could probably get sex from a woman if I wanted to, that I'm fairly attracted to or something, but I don't like to use people like that. I don't really believe in just fucking and just see ya, bye. I need some sort of emotional connection to a person. In fact, you know, one of my first, well, she wasn't one of my first, but I had dated this chick who was a front desk agent at a gym that I worked at. I used to work at, it was a Gold's Gym. And I worked there way back, and I was like 21, 22. This was kind of where I was like dealing with my ED like real big. And she was a Latina, of course, because I love Latinas. Like Latinas are they're my jam. And because they're they're so sensual and they have this attitude. I love their attitude, bro. Like they're fiery. Like they don't give a fuck. Like I just love that about them. That's just very attractive to me. And it might be a dark energy. It probably is a dark energy. For sure, I think it is a dark energy. But she was the front desk agent, and I got hired there as a janitor. Actually, I was just cleaning the machines, and then the general manager, who was a bombshell of a chick, she was like hot as fuck. Like she was blonde, banging body, bro. Like her ass was perfect, tits perfect. Like she was a Jew. She was a Jew. Oh no. She was like all about like cutting costs. Like she was like so cheap and shit. And she'd drive this busted up Jeep, but like she made like a ton of money and shit. She lived in a super nice part of town. Which I guess, are you really that Jewish if you're living in a nice part of town? Like apparently you'll spend money on certain things. You know what I mean? I guess that's a stereotype, but anyway. She hired me to be a sales consultant, and there were only 2 sales consultants, and then there were her. She's also a sales consultant, you know. So we're selling memberships, right? And she was actually super hot, super attractive, and she caught my eye a lot. I'd actually worked out at this gym many times before I ever got hired there, and I would go past the front desk, and I would see the front desk Latina chick all the time, and I wouldn't even look twice at her. Like I wouldn't even look at her, bro. And you know, I'd just go upstairs, work out, whatever. She was not on my radar. Like she didn't even catch my eye. Like I had nothing. I was just front desk girl, whatever. So I had seen her a ton. And I had seen the general manager like walking by like in the mirror, you know, when I'm doing squats, and I'm like, damn, like this bitch got it. But when I got hired, you know, as a sales consultant, I started to interact with them. You know, I got to know them. I got to know these 2 ladies. And you know, the front desk chick, she was a lot younger. You know, she was a little bit older than me, but young. And then the general manager, she was in her 30s. She was about as old as I am now, 31, 32, something like that. So the front desk chick, she had to train me, and she ended up training me. I had to get trained on front desk to be a sales consultant I had to get trained on front desk first to be a sales consultant. So she trains me. We start to hit it off, you know, talk a little bit. And she's actually dating the other sales consultant, who is another Hispanic dude. You know, Hispanics and Hispanics, man. I don't understand. Why can't these Hispanics just date white boys? Like, please. Like, all you Hispanic women, can you just date white boys, please? Like, stop. Can you just stop, like, dating all these lame-ass fucking Kevins, you know? Fucking short, you know, they got little pudges and a little pencil mustache, and they drive their Honda Civics and shit. Like, just fucking stop, okay? Like, you're... Anyway, I've made videos before, but, like, I just think they're cheating on them constantly, but she had been with this guy for a long time, like, years. They had known each other since, like, middle school, bro. So they were a long time. So this is a long thing. This is a reoccurring theme. I tend to get with women who are like emotionally unavailable, and I have a thing where I have a penchant, a proclivity for, well, for whatever reason, I don't think I did it consciously. I did it subconsciously, but I would target women that were in relationships with, they already had boyfriends. And basically my thing was I wanted to see if I could get them to break up with their boyfriends and like be with me. Which I have succeeded at. I did this twice, I think, and they were both successful, but both crashed and burned. Ended up wrecking me afterwards, tenfold. But this chick, I was dating her, and or I wasn't dating her. I was talking to her, and she ended up kind of breaking it off with her man and kind of getting with me, and but the thing about this chick is she was not attractive. Like, she wasn't initially attracted to me, right? Her body, like, bro, she was skinny, bro. Like, she had like pencil thin legs, although I loved her legs. She had like no ass, bro. No, none. She was like 5'4" or like 5'3" or whatever. But she did have huge boobs, which was nice. She had some big ass tits, and she was just a chick that I never would have been. I just never really saw. Like, I was just never really sexually attracted to until we started, talking more and more and more, and then, I think, dude, I think honestly her perfume had a big thing to like her perfume. I don't know what was in that perfume, but it was like a fucking potion, dude. I swear she was mixing that up in a cauldron in her fucking apartment or some shit. Like, that shit had to have some sort of magic, because it just didn't make sense. Like, she smelled so good, so good. If I smell that, I'm sure you guys have this, but like if I smell that now, um, I'll I'll immediately, if I smell that smell again, like that fragrance again, I'll immediately like think of her. But the thing is, man, she grew on me. Like, she grew on me. This is a thing that happens, is like women can grow on you. They're not initially attractive, so but they grow on you. The more you know them, the more you get emotional connection with them, the more you connect with their mind, they start to become a lot more attractive. And that was the thing. That was a big thing with me, man. That always is a thing with me. The attraction usually isn't initially there, and then it sort of grows the more I get to know them. Um, but yeah, she ended up absolutely destroying me, bro. She tortured me for like a year and a half, 2 years. Ended up getting back with her man, of course. I loved her, dude. I loved her. It was bad though. It was bad. Like, I would be begging to like hang out with her. I wouldn't see her for like a month or a month and a half at a time. She would like never text me. And I was just like, I want to see you. I want to see you. Like, I want to be in a relationship with you. It was the worst, dude. It was literally towards the end there. It was just some of the most embarrassing shit you'll ever see. But the general manager, she actually ended up being a cunt, dude. Like, she was a straight up cunt. Like, straight up, bro. She was a bitch. I did not like her as a person. Like, her personality was like, you're too much. Like, she's like a typical like modern woman where she's the conquering, independent boss babe. Thinks she's gonna rule the world, and she's super attractive, and she just all this stuff. And my fitness manager, he had basically hinted at me. He's like, yo, like, I think she wants you, because like she had basically promoted me up to the office right next to hers from being a janitor in like 2 months. Like, I was a janitor for like 2 months, bro. And then suddenly the dude is leaving. That dude leaves, or he gets, I don't know what happened to him. He got fired or whatever. And then I get promoted. She comes up to a janitor and she's like, I see how good you are at cleaning these machines, and I just think you would be really good as a sales consultant. Like, what the fuck? Like, what? I should have said, like, what? I didn't say that because I was like, hell yeah, like, I can make some money. Like, I could be like, this is actually like a pretty good job for me at that age. And I was like, okay, because cleaning the machines was just hella boring, dude. It was so boring. And but yeah, he was like, dude, I'm pretty sure like she wouldn't have done that if she wasn't like, I think she has some interest. And he was like, he was also like, yeah, I see her, she talks a lot to you, and she looks at you and all this stuff. She makes like little comments and stuff. I was like, I mean, I don't know, because I was interested in homegirl at the front desk, so I didn't really see this really going on. And plus, my general manager, she was such a bitch. Like, she was just, she would nitpick like all the things that we weren't doing, and like, you know, she always had to be right, and we just basically had to be her little servant boys and all this stuff. So I just wasn't really vibing with it. Um, there was an interesting night though. There was an interesting night. I'm gonna tell you guys about this. She had to go to some. So I was working. I think it was just me, and it was like a weekend, or you know, the other guy had left. He got off like earlier or whatever, and I was staying late. Like I would get off around like 10, or I think it was like 10 or 11. And so I was just sitting. It was pretty slow. It was pretty dead, and I don't remember what day of the week it was, but she had gone out to some function, like some gala or some fundraiser. She was somewhere, right? She had to do something, and I think it was for the company. I think it was actually for the company. And I didn't. I think I'd known about this because the other sales consultant had told me or something. So I knew she had gone to something, and but like she didn't work this day. Like this wasn't a work day for her. This was an off day for her. I'm pretty sure. And it was late at night. It was like it wasn't late, but it was like evening, like 7 or 8 or something like that. And so I'm just sitting there, and in she comes. Like she walks in, and she's in this silk red dress, like the scene in The Matrix where they're like, "Were you listening to me, Neo, or were you looking at the woman in the red dress?" And she, like literally the same dress bit, like, and she basically looks like that chick too, like bombshell blonde, like nice rack, like nice hat, like yeah, she's yeah. And she comes in, and she like sits next to me in the office. Like she pulls up a chair, and she wants to see if I need help with like reports, or like how my calls are going, or like any leads or anything like that, or do you need, like, she's the craziest shit. Like she comes in, you know, cleavage all that, like she smelled so good, she's looking so banging, and I'm just like she's so hot, I don't even know what to do. Like I don't even know what to do. And she's my boss too, so I'm just like, and I'm like 21, and my dick doesn't really work on top of that. So, you know, I'm looking at like porn all the time, so I'm just like I don't really know what to do. And she like sits next to me, crazy, and she's just like leaning over, and like, you know, you need help with the reports, you know, all this stuff, like, do you have any questions, all this stuff. Number one, she didn't even need to be here. Like you don't even have to come here. You know, why did you come here on your off day? You know, dressed to the nines. You know, you look like a knockout, and then like you come in here and like, what? You know, you need to help me with something. Like if you left something, what? Why did you even come here? The excuse, I'm sure, was probably something like I left something in the office or something like that. I mean, I don't think she left anything in the office. If you left something in the office, then like you just go in the office, you get it, and then you leave. You know, why do you? Or you just kind of peek in, say hi, hey, and then you like did it. Why are you coming in the office, pulling up a chair? You never pull up a chair, and you know you get like close, like in my grill, and you're like, you know, do you need help with anything? Like blah blah blah, talking to me. I was just like, of course I didn't capitalize on it because I was just, you know, I'm just a bitch, but. There are things like that where I look back on it and I'm just like, bro, what was I doing? Like, what was I doing? This is the thing, man. You need to have a dick that works because, you know, there's just things like this that happen, and you need to be ready. You know, you need to be ready. And so, you know, porn is just, I think it's just really bad for your brain, man. It's just really bad. You know, it's just, there's something about it where your brain starts to only get turned on by this really explicit, crazy stuff on the internet, and like a real flesh and blood woman doesn't really do it for you. But the thing is, but you want to, like, real flesh and blood woman, you want to do it, but you just for whatever reason you just can't. Like, you know, you wouldn't be able to do it. I mean, I could have tried, but I'm pretty sure I would have failed, and she would have been like, "What the fuck's going on with this shit?" But anyway, yeah, but the thing about the front desk chick is my point is she grew on me. You know, you don't, maybe I think it works the same way for men, is like, yeah, you might not be attractive initially to a woman, but you become more attractive as she gets to know you. It is the same thing. It is the same thing. You know, there is an element, like a real element of like connecting to the actual person underneath. Yeah, it probably doesn't, you know, it's harder. It's a lot harder if you can't get in the door. Like if you don't look good initially up front off the bat. Yeah, that probably makes things incredibly more difficult. But it doesn't mean that, you know, all hope is lost. It just means that you have a lot more of an uphill battle to climb. Um, but yeah, it's just crazy. Like I ended up not even liking her, you know, the general manager, even though she was a knockout. And then, you know, front desk chick who you know, don't even look twice at all the time. I end up like, you know, writing poems to her and you know, doing all this crazy stuff for her and crying, you know, over her and just heartbroken and just obsessed with her, dude. And she was like nothing. Like it's just crazy how that can happen, you know. She was. I should probably say that she was the freakiest sex I've ever had. She was crazy, bro. Like she let me do anything. Like she let me do anything, literally anything. In any of the stuff that you see in porn, she was basically a porn star. Like she would do anything. That's the thing about Latinas, bro. That's why I don't know, man. I don't know. Sometimes I think, you know, are the good women just vanilla in bed? You know, are the good women because I feel like I'm cursed. The first woman that was ever my serious girlfriend, it was in high school. It was freshman sophomore year, and yeah, it's high school love. It doesn't really matter. You know, people like clown it all the time. That's not really love. Okay, maybe it wasn't, but I think it's more love than what what adults think love. I mean, at least this one we were. I don't know. We were just there was no status, right? There was no like how much money do you make or what's your social group or what are your prospects or where'd you go to college or all this stuff. Like we didn't even. That's the one thing you can say about young love is like it's probably the purest love that you'll ever have because there is no. I mean, yeah, there's certain social hierarchies in a high school. I guess that's a real thing, but I mean, it's nothing like the real world. It's nothing like the real world when you get out. It's like 10 times, 100 times worse. And, you know, young love is about as pure as it is. And doesn't mean that there aren't actual, um, you know, cold, cold, cold-hearted, you know, biological truths that you can't really get past. Like you know, doesn't mean that you can just be a class nerd and get the prom queen or whatever. But anyway, she was. I've spoken about her before. She was totally down for me, loved me to death. And the reason I'm cursed is because I actually I pulled a Ross on her. You know, Ross from Friends, Ross and Rachel. We were on a break. We were on a break, right? We were on a break. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, like basically Ross and Rachel were dating, blah 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 blah. Rachel says she wants to have a break, you know, because Ross is being too clingy, he's getting too crazy. Because Rachel has some new dude at her work that like is, you know, Chad and wants to spit on her and you know spit game. No, it's not spit on her, but maybe spit on her, but spit game at her and so they go on a break and they're on a break for like it's like 18 hours or some shit. Ross completely goes into a spiral, starts like drinking or whatever, and he like ends up sleeping with somebody, right? Or I don't even, dude, I can't even remember. It might have been a week. I don't know how long the time frame was, but it was super short that they were on a break. I mean, they were on a break for. It's like, you know, that's the way he justified it when she found out. She was like, "Oh my god, like you slept with someone else," and he's like, "We were on a break," and she was like, "I mean, yeah, but like, come on, like that's ridiculous. The break was like less than 24 hours or something. I mean, it had to be. It was like, dude, it was something egregious." Where like technically he's right, but like damn, bro, like damn, like damn. Like you get why Rachel's fucking pissed. So this is what I did to this chick. She never did anything wrong to me. She only ever loved me. She only ever wanted to like be with me, and she was like crazy about me, right? Like she was mine, right? It's like I had her wrapped. I had her wrapped around my finger, dude. And I, at the time, of course, I knew nothing about black pill or red pill or blue pill or nothing. Like I wasn't thinking about how to bag her, like how to talk to her, how to do this or how to do that. I wasn't worrying about how I stood or like how I talked or anything like that. My tone of voice, like all these things you didn't even care about. And but she had a hot friend, right? She had a hot friend, and dude, by the way, my girlfriend, she was smoking, bro. She's like a Nordic fucking 10, like dime piece. She had a little bit big of a nose. I would say that's probably her only flaw. Is like her nose was a little big. That was really her only flaw, dude. Like genuinely, her body was absolutely stunning, stunning. Out of all the women in the grade or even like high school, bro, bet I would bet that her body was probably the best out of anybody's. She had like basically D tits. Like she had huge tits, flat stomach because she had done gymnastics and volleyball for forever, so she was super fit. And she had like a big ass, and she was like 5'10", so like not too short, not too tall, like just perfect, perfect, dude, perfect. And I bagged it. I was just like, yeah, you start looking at each other when you're passing each other, in the 5 minutes between classes, and you kind of, you make eyes at each other when you're in the hallway and shit, that dumb shit. And so I bagged it, and then we dated for like maybe a year and a half. I don't know exactly how long it was, but she had this friend who was super hot, and not as hot as her though. But I guess I just kind of grown. I don't know what was wrong with me. I don't know what was wrong with me, dude. I got into my head that I could do anything. And this was my first fall from grace. I think I was cursed from this moment on. Swear to God, because from this moment on, everything went to shit. Literally to this day, from that point, it was awful. Like it was terrible. Never. It was miserable. Downhill slide, plummet. So we were going. Me and my buddy, my best friend, he was dating a chick who was also her friend, who's also the friend of this other friend that was going. They were going to a movie, right? So my girlfriend knows she has one friend, and then she has another friend, and that friend's dating my best buddy. And my girlfriend is not going to this movie, but my best buddy, his girlfriend, and then this other friend, who these chicks are all friends, by the way, super close. They're going to a movie, and this was over the summer, and my boy was just like, "Yo, you want to come?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess. Like, is anybody else coming?" He's like, "Yeah, she's gonna be there." He said her name, and I was like, "Oh, damn." He's like, because we had been talking, and like he knew that I thought she was attractive and shit. He's like, "Yeah, what do you think?" Like, blah 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 blah. And I was like, "Okay, damn. Like, man, I would love to." I think I was just saying, man, I would love to like get with that. You know what I mean? And he was like, "Yeah, dude. Like, what do you think?" And I think he had like kind of convinced me into. I won't put it on him, but we had convinced each other into concocting this scheme of I was going to call my girlfriend and tell her I want to break. I just want to break. I just kind of, I don't know. Things are kind of stale. Things are kind of stalling, which I don't think they were. I think I think maybe we hadn't seen each other for a while because she was like on summer vacation, and like she couldn't, when you're in high school, we didn't have cars yet. So like, you'd have to be able to see each other, you'd need one of your family members to like drive you. And so there was like scheduling conflicts, and we couldn't really get a ride to like see each other for a while. And so it was getting to this point where like I just hadn't seen her for a while. hadn't really talked to her, and so kind of out of sight, out of mind type thing. And maybe I was kind of getting a little insecure. I don't know, but you know, homie's going to the movie with Chica and this other friend of hers, and I'm like, well, you know, maybe things are just flat. Maybe things are ending with me and my girlfriend. And so I called her up. You know, I remember we were in the driveway of my house. We were on base. We lived on base. We were in the driveway of my house. And I called her up on the phone. And he's like, you know, he's just like hyping up. He's like, yeah, do it. And I was like, yeah, I think we should break. Yeah, I think we should go on a break. And she was like, what? Like, she couldn't believe it, right? She was like pissed. You know, I think she started crying, and she was like, I can't believe this, blah, 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 blah. I think one of her friends, who was like basically her bodyguard, all these women, you know, women have bodyguards, you know. Her friend got on the phone, took the phone, and she was yelling at me. She's like, how could you do this? Like, why are you doing this? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I just, you know, I think this is the best thing to do, blah, blah, blah. Anyway. So that happens, break her heart, go to this movie, and I end up basically, you know, I'm looking at this chick while we're watching this movie, and I basically just like put my finger like on her leg, just kind of like just test it out, right? Just test it out, see if she's feeling it. Are you feeling this or not? You know what I mean? Like kind of like try to get her hand, like lock her hand with mine. Try to gauge it. See if she's like okay with this. You know, like I'm trying to test her out, like feel. Because, you know, in the movies, that's where it all went down when you were a kid. You know, you try to, you know, the movie's going on and you start making out, or at the end of the movie, that's when you guys are making out, jumping each other's bones in the movies. That's probably still how it is, but the movies was where it went down in high school. And so I start doing this, and she's, you know, she's not saying no. She's not rejecting it. She's like kind of feeling it. And so I, you know, make a move in, and we just start making out, and she's like totally into it, and like, yeah, it was this thing, man, where I don't know what I was thinking, but I don't know what I wasn't thinking about the, you know, the outcome of this, or the, what would come of this. Yeah, I wasn't thinking past, you know, just getting some action. And she ended up, of course, because her other friend's there too. So if she doesn't tell, her other friend's gonna tell. Like there's no way this doesn't get to my girlfriend. And of course, my girlfriend ends up finding this out. She's heartbroken. We don't speak, or like we don't get back together for like 6 months or like whatever. And she ended up getting back together with me, actually. You know, because we were on a break. I didn't really cheat on her, but I still think that was kind of the end for me, because it just showed that I just didn't know what I had. You know, this chick was super great, and I just didn't know what I had. I was like, I was gonna ruin it. And so she ended up getting back together with me like 6 months down the line, right before I was gonna leave to move across the country. And we were together for maybe 2-3 months before I moved away. And I think she was just, she had to get over kind of all that happened. But she wanted to, I moved away. She ended up dating some guy. He ended up being crazy. She was going to get engaged to him. Long story short, she flies to, you know, when it's my graduation from high school, she flies over and she meets me for 2 weeks. And we basically just bang. Basically just bang for 2 weeks. And she's like, I want to move over here. Mind you, she had grown up in this, this was Montana, by the way. She lived in Montana girl. She had lived in Montana for her whole life. Her family was there. All her friends were there. She was, like, she just lived in, like, she's from Montana, right? She was willing to, she had known nothing else her entire life. And she was willing to move across the country and find schools for volleyball in the state that I was in, and go to college there and make it work with me. And she wanted to break off her engagement to this guy because she was engaged now. It was just wild. It was wild. She was like, can we do this? And I basically just, after banging her for 2 weeks, I basically just told her no. I was just like, no. And because you know what I think it was is she was too pure at that moment. I think I was just too corrupted. I think I'd been looking at the sites for a good amount of years at that point, and I'd already kind of ruined myself with what I did to her, just thinking that, what was I thinking? I could just go and, just make out with her friends and like nothing would happen. And like I wasn't thinking about how that would make her feel. I wasn't thinking about, like, it was just a terrible move for me. And I thought I could do whatever I wanted. And it must have just been, I must have not cared about her, or maybe you're just so young, like you just don't care. But I just fucked that up. And I think I wanted somebody sluttier, somebody darker, somebody that had a little more darker energy, right? And this chick, my girlfriend, well, she was my ex-girlfriend at this point. When we were banging, when she came to visit me for my graduation, like she was just, she was kind of vanilla, shall we say? Like she was just kind of vanilla. She banging body, but she wasn't, she was pure. Like you could tell she was pure. She wasn't like the women that I had seen in porn, that I was watching in porn all the time. And so I think for me, like I don't know. I just wanted something a little, and that's kind of when I got into my phase of getting with, well, I had already done this, but getting with women who had boyfriends, right? Trying to get women to like break up with their boyfriends and be with me. That's a very dark sort of thing to do. And I didn't lose my virginity to my ex-girlfriend when she came for graduation. I'd actually lost my virginity junior year of high school with the school slut. Like she was just a hoe bag, and she was a cheerleader. It's hot as shit, but she was so hot. But I was like the new kid. I was the new kid in school, because I just moved there, and she wanted to conquer that fresh meat, that new meat, that imported fucking, so so I did. And then it was like we had only banged for like a month. It was barely a relationship. That was crazy, dude. I had like anger issues back then, and I was fucking nuts. I was out of my mind. But anyway, the imported meat. Let's see. They say misery loves company. Thanks for helping me through some tough times this last year. Yeah, of course, man. Appreciate it. Never trust a girl with no, I'm assuming you're saying ass? No ass equals a sign of disloyalty? Especially for Latina women. That was your first error? Never trust a girl with no ass. It's a sign of disloyalty, especially for Latina women. Nice, dude, nice. I like it. I like it. Why is he talking about how a teenager? This guy's real as fuck. 10 out of 10 is definitely just your turn, Tim. Dude. I was the mad scientist, Chad Diabolical. This is kind of pathetic. Haha, that's normal for women. He doesn't even read super chats. What a fucking god. What do you, dude? I don't know what you're fucking. Oh, here we go. Ah, so you click on them. All right, here we go. We'll get to the super chats. If family values, respect, submission, trust, loyalty are important and exist elsewhere in the world, why not move? Reasons to not move? Or is it, it's not important for you comparatively, El Salvador or anywhere else? I don't know, you know, it's, I guess I hope that I can still have family values, respect, submission, trust, loyalty here. You know, I don't want to give up hope yet here because, you know, you go to other countries and it's like completely different culture. You know, these women speak different languages. Like all their friends speak a language that you don't understand. Like you'd have to learn a new language or they're all just going to be talking shit about you. They have a entirely different culture that's like not yours. And so what? You'll have there's going to be a culture clash. And yeah, I mean, they might be submissive and be loyal and be trusting, but it's like, I don't know, there's going to be things that you have to get over. I mean, a lot of this is just, you know, this is just theoretical. I'm just talking about this, but you can, a lot of this stuff you just have to do. You know, just go and move and just see how it goes. You know, kind of just do it. You know, just see what happens. I mean, that might be somewhere down the line of just like going to a different country for a year or two, just seeing how it goes, and then if it doesn't work, just like, I don't know. But you know, I don't know. You never really know where's the best country to be in coming up. You know, and we're entering a weird period now where, you know, AI and, you know, a war just started in Iran, and you know, crazy things happening in Europe, all that immigration, and it's just a crazy time. Bro, you got potential, but you're not rugged enough. Not gonna lie, you need to have attributes that will help. Muscles, motorcycle, your own place, etc. JS men. Yeah. Rugged? Rugged. I guess rugged is what he was saying. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, maybe you're right. I don't know. I don't think I need a motorcycle. I don't think I need a motorcycle, bro. But, yeah, I don't know. They say misery loves company. Thanks for helping me through some tough. Oh yeah, I already read that one. I already read that one. All right. We're gonna get to these. Fuck. People keep saying the same fucking things. I don't know, dude. I'm trying to go back to like old group chats and group chats, super chats, and I can't even see. What are we inaugurating? It's the inaugural live stream. Motorcycle for aura farming, you know. Yeah, be like Paul Atreides. What do you mean? Do a carpet reveal? What carpet? What carpet are you talking about? Are you talking about the carpet or are you talking about the carpet? Next live stream will be 2 flu hours. What camera do you use? I use just my phone. Just use my phone, bro. Don't make it crazy. Don't make it complicated. Become a space lord. Basement tour when? I don't know, dude. I'm kind of embarrassed about this basement. I don't really want to give you a basement tour. What if you geolocate me? Yeah, I just want to say I apologize. Anybody who sent a super chat and I didn't see it or I didn't click on it or respond to it, I apologize. Because I literally don't know what I'm doing yet. You know what I mean? Why are you a delivery driver when you can be our king? I don't know, dude. I don't know. That's what I ask myself all the time. Basement is all you need to trap her? Jesus Christ. What video games did you used to play? Really only like Call of Duty, Black Ops 2, and then Dark Souls, FIFA, Dark Souls 2 and 3, and then Elden Ring. Mainly, most of my gaming has been Call of Duty, Black Ops 2, and Dark Souls 2, 3, and Elden Ring. Basically, that's it. Opinion on Mike Adriano. Are you a Tony Hawk Pro Skater type dude or a Halo dude? Neither, dude. I was a neither, dude. Is your bro good looking? I mean, yeah, all my bros are good looking, bro. Hug the cactus. What cactus? Dark Souls 1 live stream. You sent a super chat? I don't know what you're talking about. What's the hand tattoo mean? Is it the Star of David? Yes, that is the Star of David. Look up the Star of David. It will be an image of that. The hand tattoo is just a tribal design that I got when I was 19 years old. And you know what's funny? You know what it's from? You know what it's from? I'll tell you what it's from. This tattoo, this tattoo is actually supposed to be, this part is actually supposed to be way bigger. Like way bigger. So imagine this part, but like this. It's supposed to be like this. And then there's actually a fucking shark, like a hammerhead shark. It wasn't supposed to be filled in, apparently, but... So the shark is supposed to go all the way up, like, my arm right here, and then this tribal design, this black, is supposed to be, like, right here. And I'll tell you what it's from. It is, go watch Ocean's 11. And you don't need to watch very far. Watch Ocean's 11. And just see what you see. You don't have to watch very far. Maybe first 10 minutes, something like that. First 10 minutes. You'll see it. And you come back to me and you tell me what it's from. This other tattoo is, this mask tattoo. I don't know if you can fucking see this, but it's so hard to show that, but that mask tattoo is just a mask that I... It was just a design that I really liked, you know. How we all put on masks, you don't know who anybody is, who's underneath, you know, that whole theme. And I really liked the mask, like I really liked the design. I just like how masks are just, there's no animation, you know, there's so much mystery behind them. I like that. Why the coat? Why the coat? What do you mean, bro? It's a basement. It's cold as shit. It's fucking... What is this? Tommy Hilfiger? Tommy Hilfiger. Go on the Fresh and Fit podcast? I don't even know what that is. You failed retention. What to do? Dude, just keep breathing. It's literally doesn't matter. If you fail retention, if you break your streak, it literally does not matter, bro. Why? Because it happened. Whatever happens, it was meant to happen. Just go with it. If you think anything else, it's just gonna be torture, dude. Trust me, I know from firsthand experience. All the torture that you do to yourself it's just what you do to yourself. It's not real. It's just imaginary. It's what you do to yourself. It's no biggie, dude. It's no biggie. You just keep going. Just get right back on the horse, you know? The other one, a wolf or a dog? Wolf. It's a wolf, yeah. It's a wolf. I got that one when I was 20, 21. And, yeah. I think it was because I'm a lone wolf. That's what I was thinking at the time. I'm a lone wolf, baby. So I wanted to get this wolf tattoo. And the person who did it didn't really shade it that well. It's not even shaded well. I should get it reshaded, but honestly, I don't even like that tattoo. Whatever, I don't give a shit. Legion of Men has covered a few of your videos. Legion of Men is a married dork. Damn, bro. Why do you say that? Legion of Men has covered a few of your videos. Yeah, I mean a lot of... Well, not a lot. I shouldn't say a lot. But a few of these, like, red pill dudes have, like, covered my videos, I know. What do you mean by name the community? I don't know what you're talking about. You have to be more specific. Can you name the community? How do I do that? What is that? What are you talking about? I wish I could build a private army, but I could never because you need money. But in order to get money, you need lots of manpower first. That's not true. You don't need manpower to get money. Choose what makes you question yourself as a person in life. What? What makes you question yourself as a person in life? I don't know what you mean. You have to rephrase that. Do you have to be feminine to get married? You talking about a man or a woman? It's good for testicular cancer. Not really succeed no more. Whatever podcast. Dude, the Whatever podcast? Dude. So the interesting thing about the Whatever podcast, it's just terrible, bro. Like you turn on the Whatever podcast and like you just see these women that you've you're not supposed to be able to do this. It's not natural, but like women that you've literally jerked it to probably like hundreds of times, you can just go on the Whatever podcast and just watch them like talk like a normal human being. Just like talking and shit. Something about that like fucks me up, dude. That shit fucks me up. I remember I had seen a Whatever thing of like Molly Little. It was like just a short, and I never watched shorts. But I saw Molly Little in the thumbnail, and I recognized her because I'm sure I've watched like a few of her. I don't even really think I watched a lot of Molly Little. I don't actually, but I had seen a few of her videos, and I recognized her face, and I was like, oh shit, this is a porn star. And of course, I was like, I think I was probably like 15 days or 20 days deep on a streak. And so of course, my phone pops up fucking Molly Little on a fucking short. Yeah, of course the algorithm gives me that because the aliens are trying to suck my fucking semen out of my body and the energy. So I see Molly Little and I'm like, fuck, shouldn't click on that. And I scroll past a little bit and just kind of look at other videos and shit. And sure enough, I just scroll back up and I just click on the Molly Little short. And she's just talking about, how she's not a liability because she makes her own money, and why she's attractive as a potential suitor, like a potential wife or something, a potential girlfriend, even though she does porn. And she's like basically laying out all the pluses of her doing porn. She makes her own money. She's not going to be a leech. Blah blah blah. And I was just watching that video, and she's just talking like a normal person. There's something about women talking like normal people, like they're just a normal person. And I'm like, but let me pull this up real quick. Let me pull a video up real quick. It's like I would just want to see them side by side. You know what I mean? And so I pulled up just this. Oh, we got some super chats here, don't we? All right, I'll get to the super chats. I will get to the super chats. Chill. Just take up smoking. Here's for a pack. Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, I'm gonna start smoking cigarettes right now. Appreciate it, developer Dave. So I looked up a video of hers, and you guys know, like, I'm into the interracial stuff. I don't like it, it just happened. And so there's a video of her just getting fucking gangbanged by a bunch of black dudes, like buff-ass black dudes. And I'm just like, dude, that just fucks with me, dude. Like, I had to watch it. I'm probably busting a nut to it. I don't know how long ago this was, but, just something about that where I can't. Yeah, the internet's just not good, man. It's just not good. It's like what the fuck are we even doing? You know, she's just a normal everyday white girl. You just talking about blah 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 blah, and like here you are, getting absolutely throttled by six huge buff black guys, and you have a boyfriend. The thing was, she had a boyfriend, of course, because all of them have boyfriends, bro. All these porn stars have boyfriends. Like, what are y'all doing, man? What are y'all doing? I don't know, man. I just can't. But it's tough though because all of us looking at porn, we're basically all cucks, you know. Where are these? You guys send. Excuse me. What decent book have you read lately? Honestly, you know what I was reading? I was reading Wuthering Heights. Because I know that there was this movie coming out. Dude, I swear to God, one of these days I'm going to lean back in this chair and I'm never going to come back. But I was reading Wuthering Heights, and because there was this movie coming out, and I don't know, dude. I don't know why I was doing it, but I don't know. I'm not going to finish it, though. I've been reading Broken Money by Lynn Alden, but I can't finish books because, it's just really difficult for me. I struggle with caring about whatever it is I'm reading. Although the monetary system is interesting, but a lot of the times I'm just like, when I can just throw on a trash ass show like Industry, why wouldn't I do that? But yeah, I really haven't read a decent book lately, man. I apologize. I don't really. I have all these books and like I haven't really read anything. I don't know what to tell you. I did read. I read Tale of Two Cities by Dickens. I actually really like Dickens. Dickens is probably my favorite novelist, even though I don't have a wide experience with a lot of different writers. But Dickens is probably my favorite just because he makes characters so over the top and dramatic, and he uses a lot of like poverty. I really enjoy like poverty. Like the decrepit side of humanity, the baser natures. I like shit like that, and he really explores that like very well, like poor people, just crazy characters, over the top humor. He's very funny, very funny. Dickens is hilarious. But anyway, does he have an Instagram? I do not have an Instagram. I don't have anything except for a YouTube, so I just don't, dude. I know. I don't believe in any of that shit. That's just garbage. Collab with Nick Fuentes. I don't think I'm at that status yet. Gorlog Marshall, can you give your fans a name? Yeah, I don't know what name you guys want, Could you survive a day without talking about women and why you don't want nothing to do with them? Yeah, I could. Yeah, I think I do that all the time. I'll soon get to drink alcohol. All right. People just comment like random semen retention. They just comment that. Okay. I'm trying to find somebody who's asking questions or saying something interesting here. Can you rant about why marriage is a legit humiliation ritual? I mean, I don't know, dude. At this point, it's like 2 hours I've been streaming. I'm gonna have to eat at a certain point. I don't know. That's a lot. It's a lot. Maybe next time. Do you think we're headed for World War III? Probably. Yeah. For sure. 100%. Is it weird if I use maple syrup, tuna, and ice cream was cars? To wash cars? Nigga, what are you fucking saying? Bro, you have no purpose. That is beyond just pleasure. That is why you can't even control yourself. Yeah, you're probably right. Thoughts on BNW though? I don't know what that means. Plato accidentally created Christianity. Thoughts on Iran, Marshall? I mean, dude. We straight up fucking took that what's their prime leader, prime, supreme leader, took them off the map, dude. Easy. Took out all their top dudes just like that. Boom. That's my thoughts. I mean, it's obviously terrible. Oil's probably going to go up. Price of energy is going to go up. I don't know how long it's going to last. Praying for the boys over there, that are on ships. There's two. We actually knew a dude who's actually on the Gerald R. Ford, which is over there. And, yeah, I feel bad for the dude. We had a good night with him. We were drinking on a beach. We got so fucking drunk, man, down in Pensacola. And he was a cool dude, man. He was a racist, but like an actual racist. But he was cool aside from that, And, he was playing guitar, and we were just singing all this stuff. Yeah, he's on the Gerald R. Ford, apparently. So, thinking about you, bro. Don't die. Tolstoy on the shelf. Yes, I noticed, but I guess he didn't read it. Down and Out in Paris. Basement Gang. Hey, Marshall. Hey, Marshall, did you crash out vid get deleted? Yes, it did. It did get deleted. Because apparently I said something too heinous. I don't really think it was my most heinous video, which is crazy. Dickens, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Yes, yes. Opening line of Tale of Two Cities. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. That's right. That is a great book. If you haven't read Tale of Two Cities, I would say if you're going to read any Dickens novel, I would say read Tale of Two Cities. It's good. It's good. David Copperfield is pretty good as well, although I'm not quite finished with it, but I've read most of it. I read Great Expectations. Probably have to reread that one again. I read it a long time ago, but do you believe in extraterrestrials? Absolutely. I mean, if you don't believe in aliens at this point, I don't know what to tell you. You're just fucking stupid. I mean, aliens are definitely real. Reptilians are a thing, 100%. I'm actually really one of the dudes that I was talking to on the Patreon, really cool dude. He actually put me onto all this stuff. Like I knew that UFOs were probably real and aliens were probably real, but I had no idea the depths of it and all the different races and reptilians and stuff like that. The moon is a spaceship. It's a space station. The whole thing about the craters on the moon, the craters are all the same depth. I mean, that's just crazy. That's crazy, bro. And like it's rung before, like it's rang for like it's like an actual solid metal ball. It's actually rang. Like astronauts have heard it ring before, like NASA or whatever. They heard it ring. So and there's all these stories about there being bases on the moon and stuff like that, and at this point, all the evidence points to there being absolute. All the UFOs. The Varginha crash. The Varginha crashes. If you look into the Varginha crash, that shit is nuts. We definitely have real aliens. Like, we actually have bodies. Like, we have specimens. We have real aliens. Like in custody captivity somewhere in a basement somewhere in some facility. 100%. 100% we do. 100% we have UFO technology. I don't know if we know how to really wield it yet to its highest capacity. I think it's in the matter of national security to like keep it from other countries, obviously, because I mean, alien technology is something that would give you a massive edge over anybody. Huge if you could develop it and harness it. Um, so I definitely believe 100%. And does it really matter? Does it matter? I don't know. Yeah, it's cool to think about though. It's cool to think that. I mean, I would bet my life 100% that there are aliens on this Earth. I would bet that there are people that you think are people that are actually aliens, that are actually reptilians. I would 100% believe that. 100%. If that came up to be a thing, some of the way these people act, some of the vibes that I get from people, 100%, bro. They're absolutely not human. They're not human. They can't be. So I think, they say there's 8 billion people on the planet. I say there's probably 4 billion people on the planet. You know what I mean? I don't even know what the percentage of actual human beings on this planet is, but yeah, it's not as high as you think. It's not as high as you think. Hella aliens, dude, for sure. Yeah, the Virginia crash, dude. Look into that. That shit's nuts. That's probably like, aside from the Roswell crash, the Virginia crash is probably the most like, credible, corroborated, like, documented one that's like, okay, this is for sure a thing. But there's so many sightings and like, what happened to Malaysia flight? All those orbs just circling and then poof, it disappears. I don't know if that's fabricated or if it's real, but like, dude, I mean, what's even real anymore? You know what I mean? Dostoevsky, I read Crime and Punishment. It's pretty decent. Although the way that he speaks, his writing's a little strange, but he's dark. He's a dark dude. What's your take on OnlyFans? I've never used OnlyFans. Don't use OnlyFans. I'm not really a thing. It's not my jam. It's not my vibe. I'm not paying for anything. That's for damn sure. I don't want it so much that I'm gonna pay for it. I'm not at that point yet. You know what I mean? I get that for a lot of dudes, that's like basically their only thing. Like that's their only hope. But that's not really my jam. But if you like OnlyFans, like all power to you. But don't be purchasing any like jars of poop or anything. You know what I mean? Like if you purchase jars of poop, like come on, bro. You gotta look at yourself, man. You gotta rethink. You gotta rethink some stuff. Look in the mirror. Evaluate. Go outside for a walk. Talk to some people. Just, you might need to evaluate that. Can you stream 3 more hours? No. I'm probably close to... So many questions, bro. So many questions. Marshall watched Begonia. You just summarized the movie. Okay. Have you watched Miss Congeniality? Yeah, I watched Miss Congeniality a lot when I was younger. Not now. Have you watched Europa: The Last Battle? No. Can you review the movie Fair Play? Maybe. Have you seen the film They Live? I did, yeah. I did. I just recently watched the film They Live. And I thought it was great. I thought it was hilarious. I especially like the part where, the fight scene is epic, right? The fight scene, dude. I didn't think that fight scene would ever end. I thought I was gonna be watching that fight scene for the rest of my life. Like I genuinely thought that fight scene was gonna last for the rest of my life. I thought I was fucking high or something. Like I thought I had slipped into another dimension, like some shadow dimension where it's just like watching this fight on repeat or something. That fight was absolutely insane. Like that fight never ends. Like that fight is insane, bro. Like it's epic. I love that fight. And I really like I didn't know that the quote from that movie was, because I'd heard this quote before, I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum and I'm all out of bubblegum. And So I was like, oh damn, okay, that's what this is from. And then the other line was when he's in the supermarket and he's like, you're okay. This one, real fucking ugly. That was a good one. That was too good. I really like that movie. They Live is like, it's basically just a documentary. I'm pretty sure that's like actually real, bro. Like that's actually real. Have you watched the Netflix movie Creep? No. You remind me of you remind me heavy of the main antagonist. Okay. Of a movie called Creep. Nice. Can you quit your job and just do this, please? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. That's the plan. That's the goal. Did we make it to the moon? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know because the moon is a spaceship. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. Imagine having an alien girlfriend. Dude, that would be wild. I'm sure a lot of these niggas have alien girlfriends, bro. Like, actually. That's probably why these dudes are getting absolutely demolished, bro. That's probably why women are in power, because, like, they're all reptilians. You know what I mean? Like, they just... There's something about when you talk to certain people, you're like, this feels wrong. Like, actually talking to them, you feel like there's such a level of mental gymnastics. There's such a level of, like... There's an intuition, like a visceral feeling of like, this feels terrible. Like this actually feels like I cannot get through to this person. Like they're on a different, they're just a different being altogether. Like it's almost like they're too, there's just something that you can't interface with there. That's like incompatible. And like if you do interface with it, you will become a slave. Like you will become riddled with shame and guilt and lust, and it's just gonna, they call them narcissists, but what if we just all what if we just found out that narcissists are just actually aliens? You know what I mean? What happened to the Europe trip plan? I decided not to spend money on that. Basically, money is what limited it. Although I do want to go to some cathedrals, All right. You're not like the other. Do you think Adam Sandler is actually funny? Dude, some of these questions are just crazy. All right. Is that long enough? Any other last questions? Any other? I will stay if there's actually a good question. Are you in rural Chicago? No, I'm not. I'm going to leave if you guys don't come up with some crazy shit right now. Yeah, anyway. All right. That's it for this live stream. I think that's long enough, but thanks for dropping in, everybody. This is great. This was epic. You made history. You were a part of history today. You're part of history. Not a lot of people can say that, Amazing. Amazing time. Appreciate all the questions and chatting. It will just be like this, if I ever do a live well, I intend to do live streams. This was nice. I'll do another one. And I'll probably try to do a bi-weekly or maybe 3 a week or something where I can kind of manage it. I don't know if I'll do it every day. Some people do it every day. I think that's wild, but yeah, I'll try to do it fairly frequently, as long as we can get good, sort of discussions going and questions and shit. So, but yeah, I think that was a good one. That was a good start. Till next time. I'm gonna have to. How do I end this? How do I end this? So embarrassing. So embarrassing. I'm so new. So new. I don't know what I'm doing. I just have to do it on the phone, but have a good night. Oh shit, you can see my carpet. Shit. That's my carpet. The fuck?